Hi, this is Jason Perlow with ZDNet Sr, and this is the Trident Aegis case for the iPad Air. Trident Aegis is the first case offering from the company for building the quote-unquote ultra-protective, military standard protective solution for the iPad. They built these, of course, for earlier versions of the iPad. I don't know if military spec, I don't know what it's called, 810 something. They claim that there's up to, they've tested it up to 26 drops without any form of damage to the tablet. I have my doubts about some of those scenarios, mainly because the primary thing that concerns me about this case, as far as its level of protectiveness, is that there is a very minimal amount of clearance for the bezel area. And I think that's very important in any kind of ultra protective case design, because you want the case outside ridges to be elevated at least several millimeters. I'm going to say 4 to 6, maybe 4 or 5 millimeters above the screen area, because if you have a forward drop, so the case kind of just falls like this, blam, right? The impact should be essentially absorbed by that bezel protection area, and there should be just basically no chance of the screen hitting anything, especially if you're hitting a surface that's got, ridges. I mean, this is a perfectly flat, smooth table, right? So there's really no chance of this breaking if it hits forward faces on a table. But you may have protrusions and stuff on the ground that could potentially crack the screen. Even if you have a higher elevation bezel, that could still happen, but it's less likely to happen the more that it's elevated. So that's the primary thing I don't like about this case. The other thing I don't like about this case is that it's not a true full clamshell polycarbonate wrapped with silicone design like the OtterBox or the Griffin, which is I'm hopefully going to be getting the Survivor in a couple of days to look at. The OtterBox case has been delayed by several weeks, probably because they're still continuing to make refinements to the design. Again, as you can see here, you got a rubber, right, that's wrapping the entire iPad. But then there's this black, well, they've got other colors that you can buy, but there's this polycarbonate back here that is essentially acting as kind of like a tray that's wrapping a little bit around the silicone. So it's lighter, right? So you're not going to be getting as much weight as you would on something like an OtterBox. But if you're looking to completely protect your device, I don't know if this is such a great compromise or not. There's definitely no hard screen cover that comes with this, so if you were walking around with this, you could still potentially crack the screen. I don't like the fact that the button area has no silicone on top, and again, I don't like this top area here not covered with silicone or either. The silicone also looks like it's kind of peeling a little bit away from here, so it's not a really tight form-fitting design. That hard candy case that I showed you in the previous article that I wrote actually is very tight. You don't see the silicone peel away at all because they've got tabs on the polycarbonate insert that keep it from peeling away. So it's that one is a nice solution. The other thing that they advertised about this particular case, it's supposed to have filters for the sound grills. And I think that's a generalization that they make about their other products that are called Aegis for their other iPads and their other tablets and their phones. But this particular model does not appear to have filters at all for the stereo speakers in the new iPad Air. They have the tabs, of course, for the power, and they have the tabs for the mute lock button, right, over here. Now, what they did also with the power, which is in just button, they have it pointing out, which is what you would expect, but the volume buttons are recessed. So if you have big, thick, grubby fingers like I do, right, it's a little hard to adjust the volume control. So I'm not crazy about that. I would not buy this case for myself. Somebody else might like this case if they wanted a thinner solution than something like an OtterBox or Griffin Survivor or some of the others that are coming out on the market. But it's $50. You can get it in other colors besides this black. Your mileage may vary on it. I would say if you're looking for ultra protection, take a look at another solution. Jason Perlow from Tech Broiler, signing out.